Connect 6. 2024. First term. Green cities.
Plant, plant. Apartment block, apartment block. Chemicals, chemicals. Harvest, harvest. Natural fertilizer, natural fertilizer. Roof, roof. Garden, garden. Market, market. Dates, dates. Tomatoes, tomatoes. Peppers, peppers. Onions, onions. Lettuce, lettuce. Lemons, lemons. Vegetables, vegetables.
Interesting, interesting. Neighborhood, neighborhood. Community, community. Organic, organic. Volunteers, volunteers. Tomorrow, tomorrow.
Lesson 2. We always work hard. Listen and choose the best logo for Mini Forest.
Earth Aid. What is Mini Forest? Mini Forest is an organization which brings the benefits of a forest into the heart of our cities. These special green areas help people reconnect with nature, reduce the effects of climate change, and provide safe habitats for wildlife. We always work hard to identify ideal urban locations for our mini-forests, where people and wildlife need nature most. We never grow foreign plants in our projects. We always use fast-growing native trees and follow effective forest management methods developed by experts. We also usually work with local communities to plant and look after the forests over time. We collect data from every forest we plant a few times a month. This helps us understand the effects of the new green space on the people, wildlife, and climate of the area over time. We rarely have enough people for all our projects, so we need more volunteers to join the mini forest movement. Click on the link to find out more. Listen and read again. Write T, true, or F, false. Correct the false sentences in your notebook. 1. The new green spaces are only for local people to use. 2. The mini forest organization only plants trees that normally live in that country. 3. Only the mini forest volunteers look after the trees. 4. The organization uses information about the forests for research. 5. The mini forest organization wants more people to join and help. We use adverbs of frequency before a verb to talk about the frequency of the action. We always work hard to identify ideal urban locations. I don't often see my school friends at weekends. We use how often to ask about the frequency of an action. How often do you work in the community garden? I work there 2 afternoons a week. One. How often do you walk to school? I always walk to school. 2. How often does he play tennis? He sometimes plays tennis. 3. How often does she eat fish? She never eats fish. Circle the correct answers. 1. The weather is usually, never, sunny in Egypt in summer. 2. I rarely, often, eat dates as a snack. I love them. 3. How often, however, do you play football with your friends? 4. Samir always, occasionally, plays video games, but he doesn't like them very much. 4. We sometimes, always, go cycling on holiday, but most days we relax on the beach. 5. You rarely, sometimes, call me now. Are you angry with me?
Listen and read. Where does Mariam go on Fridays?
No school tomorrow. Do you want to come to my house?
Thanks, Nabila, but I always help my aunt on Friday afternoons at the community garden.
The community garden? What's that?
It's a big green space on the roof of my Aunt Salma's apartment block. The people who work there are all volunteers from the neighborhood. We grow vegetables to eat, and sometimes we sell them in the market too.
That's interesting. What things do you grow?
Well, we usually plant tomatoes, peppers, onions, lettuce, things people eat all the time.
And you grow all this food in the middle of the city. Wow.
Yes, it means people can grow their own fresh food. And it's organic too, which means we only use natural fertilizer. We never use chemicals.
Does your garden produce a lot of vegetables?
Yes, it does. From just 1 square meter of roof garden, we can harvest 20 kilos of vegetables a year. And that's not all. Roof gardens also help clean the air in the city, so that's good for people's health. And they're a great place to meet people and make friends.
It sounds great, Mariam. We need more community roof gardens like that in our city.
Complete the summary with the words from the box. Aunt, roof, clean, friends, grow plants, sell tomorrow. Nabila asks Maryam to go to her house tomorrow, but Maryam goes to help her aunt on Fridays. They work in a community garden on the roof of an apartment block. They grow vegetables and fruit for people in the local area, and sometimes they sell them too. Maryam thinks the community garden is a good idea because the plants also help to clean the air in the city, and the garden project is a good place to make new friends. Put the words in the correct order to make sentences in your notebook. 1. 10 p.m. Usually in bed before I'm usually in bed before 10 p.m. 2. Always, my dad, a big breakfast, in the morning, eats. My dad always eats a big breakfast in the morning. 3. Never, Donia and Whale, late, for school. Donia and Whale are never late for school. 4. The dentist, you, go, how, often, to. How do you often go to the dentist? 5. Gives, sometimes, us, our teacher, homework, on weekends. Our teacher sometimes gives us homework on weekends. 6. Rains, it, the Western Desert, rarely, in. It rarely rains in the Western Desert.
Circle the correct adverb in each sentence. We don't like fish at all. We often, never, eat it. 2. Date palm trees usually, never, produce fruit. 3. My aunt lives with us, so I often, occasionally, speak to her. 4. I sometimes, never, do my homework in the afternoon, but I prefer to do it in the evening. 5. Hani rarely, often, plays football. He doesn't like sports. 6. Egyptian pharaohs weren't sometimes, always, men. There were some women pharaohs too.
Lesson 3. Plants in Egypt. Date palm. Date palm. Trunk. Trunk. Leaves. Leaves. Fruit. Fruit. Stalks. Stalks. Desert. Desert. Oasis. Oasis. Coconut palm. Coconut palm. Bunch. Bunch. cultivated, cultivated. Feathers, feathers. Common, common. Dry, dry. Shape, shape. Size, size. Amount, amount. Type, type. Sugar, sugar. Nutritious, nutritious. Vitamins, vitamins. Calories, calories. Furniture, furniture. Fuel, fuel.
What is a date palm? The date palm is the most ancient cultivated tree in the world. Dates have been cultivated for more than 5,000 years. These trees like dry, desert conditions, and they usually grow in areas with very long, hot summers and not a lot of rain. There are a lot of oasis farms in Egypt, where people grow date palms, but the largest are in and around Toshka. The date plant is in the palm tree family. It has a long trunk which can grow up to 20 meters high. It has large leaves like feathers, similar to a coconut palm. It is well known for its delicious, sweet fruit which grows at the top of the tree on long stalks. The date fruit has just one seed inside it. The shape, size, color, and amount of sugar in the fruit depends on the type, but dates are usually from 3 to 7 centimeters long. Dates are not always brown. They can be many colors from bright red to bright yellow. More than 1,000 dates may grow on a single bunch, and weigh 8 kilograms or more. Read the text again and label the photos with these words. 1 seed. 2 leaves. 3 fruit. 4 stalk. 5 trunk.
Date palm uses. 1. The date palm tree and its fruits are part of everyday life in Egypt, and we often forget that in fact this common plant is extraordinary. It is part of our country's history and it gives us delicious food, but it also has many other uses. Let's look at some of them. 2. Dates have a lot of sugar in them and are high in calories. They stay fresh for a long time and are also nutritious. They are full of vitamins, which help to keep our bones strong and are good for the heart and stomach. 3. Many parts of the date palm plant are useful. In Egypt, we use the trunk to make furniture for our homes. We can also use the leaves to make baskets and ropes. The fruit is a tasty food for humans, while we give the stalks to farm animals to eat. We can also use every part of the tree to make fuel for engines.
Lesson 4. Reading. What do you like about your neighborhood? Mouth. Mouth. Thumb. Thumb. Furniture. Furniture. Neighborhood. Neighborhood. Local residents. Local residents. Railway line. Railway line. Whale is in New York for a year with his family. Read his email. What's Whale's favorite place in New York? Hi Samir. How are you? I'm well and New York is great. Our apartment block is on the 16th floor, so we have a great view. New York has a lot of green spaces. There are also a lot of projects to create parks and green areas in parts of the city that no one uses now, like the famous High Line. Do you know about it? It passes through our neighborhood, so I often go there with my parents. It's really cool. Years ago, the High Line was a railway line, but in the 1980s trains stopped using it. Some local residents had an idea to make the old railway into a big, long park that everyone could use. Now it's a green space that runs for 2.5 km, with more than 500 species of plants and trees in it. You can walk through the gardens, see artworks, watch a theater performance, eat delicious food, do a yoga class or go running, or just hang out with your friends there. I think it's my favorite place in New York. Here is one of my photos of it. How are things back in Alexandria? I miss home. New York is very noisy all the time, but Alexandria is much quieter at night. There are lots of different restaurants here, and the food doesn't taste like the food at home. The Alexandrian restaurants are better. I think the food is fresher and tastes more delicious. I miss Egyptian food so much. Write soon and tell me all your news, Whale.